So you just bought a fossil, or is it a rock, or did you just get a really cool piece of plastic? I'm going to give you a couple tips, whether you just dug it up or you went and bought it, so you can know if you have a real fossil or not. First up is the weight. Bones, or fake fossils, actually feel really, really light, especially when compared to real fossils that are pretty much just rock, because that's what they are. The next thing to look for is color. If it's really light, probably not a fossil. If it's a darker color, feels a little bit heavier, and when you look up close, has tiny little cracks or breaks, then you probably have yourself a fossil. Now, if it has pores in it, it's probably fossilized bone, whereas this fossil doesn't have pores, so we call this petrified wood, or fossilized wood. Now, what some people like to do, you can check for those pores by actually licking it, so your saliva will be absorbed into the pores and your tongue kind of sticks to it. Now, it's not recommended to do all the time. Bacteria and sometimes the shop owners might just kick you out of the store. But yeah, my tongue kind of sticks and tastes like Spinosaurus.
Here's the 3 examples, with bone on the left containing pores of similar size but being very light in color and weight. The rock is on the left with no consistent, if any, pores, and the bone fossil is in the middle, with many small pores, a darker color, and a heavier weight. Another way to check for authenticity under magnification is checking for detail. This prehistoric fish would be almost impossible to fake. Plus, I cracked this one open myself, so I'm pretty sure it's real.
Spotting fakes isn't always easy, as some of them are really good.
Now, some fossils contain reconstructed parts, and that's okay, so long as you know what you're paying for.
But the same as bone, if it feels too light, it's probably just plaster. Or if you find a little seam running down the side, it's definitely been cast. And under magnification, you can see if it's too smooth. And sometimes those lines, instead of cracks, are actually from a paintbrush. Now, what about amber? Amber is a fossil that's often faked. These are tiny plants or animals that get trapped in tree resin. So there's a couple quick tests we can do to tell if this is real or not. The first one is a density test. So if we drop this into salt water, it should float, while as a lot of plastic will sink. And newer resin, that's only a couple or even 1,000 years old, called copal, is much more common, but often passed off as real amber. To test this, you can add a drop of alcohol or acetone, and it won't do anything to the old amber. It will start to dissolve and make that copal a little bit sticky and soft. You can also test the amber by rubbing it against some wool to try to build up a static charge to see if it'll pick up some paper bits. Real amber should be able to build up that charge. So there you go, guys, a couple quick tips on whether you got yourself some plastic or some awesome cool fossils. Enjoy. If you want to check out some other cool science videos, there should be some links somewhere floating around the screen. Just click on those. Have an awesome day.